Hello, this is a mini lecture presentation on Andean America for the fall of 2020 at Fresno State. The course name is World Geography, and the presenters for this video are going to be Vanessa Guillen, which is me, Will Beavers, and Christian Ledesma. Hope you like it. To begin, we're going to talk about the approximate location of Andean America. As you can see, Andean America is located in South America. You could also see that it is located between the western edge of it, and it is mostly consists of mountains, as you can see in the pictures. Within Andean America, the Andes Mountains are located, which are also in the western edge, forming a line in South America. They are the world's longest continental mountain range. They form about 9,000 kilometers in all. Moving on, now we are going to talk about the nations and major capitals that are within Andean America. Andean America consists of a group of 5 states that are connected to the Andean Mountains. The nations and capitals of such are the following. Bolivia is one of the nations that exists between Andean America, and as you can see, it is located along the middle of South America. It has 2 capitals, and they are known as La Paz and Sucre. Colombia is another major nation that exists, and its capital is Bogota. As you can see, it is located along the bottom of South America. Next, we have Ecuador, which exists on the western side of South America, and its capital is Quito. Venezuela is also another nation, and its capital is Caracas. As you can see, it is located in the top part of South America. And finally, we have Peru, which is located in the west middle side of South America. Its capital is Lima. Moving on, one of the most important major landforms that exist in Andean America are the Andean Mountains, which have an average elevation of about 13,000 feet, and the only mountains that are taller than these are the Himalaya Mountains, making the Andean Mountains the second tallest mountain range in the world. The highest elevation in the Andes is Mount Aconcagua, which is 22,000 feet. Mount Aconcagua is located in Argentina, and it is the highest elevation point of the Andean Mountains. A major lake that exists in Andean America is Lake Titicaca. It is one of the largest lakes that exist and the world's highest navigable body of water. It is home to many wildlife species, including the water frog, that it is a giant frog that exists between the area, and also the grebe bird. Moving on to climate properties, because of the Andes Mountains that are located in the middle between the ocean and the continent itself, the Andes have an important part of climate. The northern part of the Andes is typically rainy and warmy, and the weather is also wet in the central part of Andean America. To the west, there is dry climate dominated by desert. Andean America major resource bases. To begin, Andean is home to at least 3,800 different varieties of potatoes. They also grow many other crops like maize, quinoa, amaranth, leguminous plants such as beans and lupins, and roots. Andean America is also one of the greatest sources of minerals for wealth in the world. They account for more than 45% of the world's copper production and nearly 30% of the silver production, significant amounts of lead, zinc, gold, and an array of industrial minerals and chemicals.
The Andes cover more than 2,500,000 kilometers and have a population of about 85 million. That's 45% of the total country populations, and the northern Andes is one of the most densely populated mountain regions in the world. The largest urban agglomeration in the Andes is Colombia. Its population is about 51 million. It is 29th largest in the world, and major cities include Santa Marta, Medellin, Salento, Pereira, Bogota, and Popayan. Peru is the second largest urban agglomeration in the Andes. Its population size is about 33 million. It is 43 largest in the world, and major cities include Iquitos, Piura, Chiclayo, Trujillo, Chimbote, Huancayo, Lima, Cusco, Arequipa, and Tacna. The third largest urban agglomeration in the Andes is Bolivia. Bolivia is close to 12 million in population. It is the 80th largest in the world, and major cities include Cobija, Trinidad, La Paz, Cochabamba, Oruro, Santa Cruz, Sucre, Potosi, and Tarija. The Caral civilization, also known as the Norte Chico civilization, is one of the earliest civilizations. They were located in what is now north-central coastal Peru. The most impressive achievement includes large earthwork platforms, mounds, and sunken circular plazas. Most of these cities were located in river regions that provided irrigation for cotton cultivation. An interesting artifact that they left is the quipu and instruments in resemblance to flute. The Chavín civilization developed in the northern Andean highlands of Peru 1,000 years later after the decline in the Caral civilization. They were located in the Mansa River Valley where the Mansa and Huachesca River merge. The Chavín settlement area was very unique near two rivers and high mountains. It allowed for the civilization to grow maize, potatoes, and grain quinoa. They also used llama meat and dried it, which was later known as jerky. The design of temples was influenced by the temple at Chavín de Huántar. It showed advanced building techniques that were adapted in Peru. Native languages in the Andes that were used were Quechua, Aymara, Jacaru, and Coqui. Checkawa was the most common used in Peru, and it is similar to Spanish. Christianity is the most popular religion in Peru. Many churches were built during the colonial period where the religion was at its peak. Many convents were built in Inca sites.
Andean America is a patchwork of many, many different cultures. A few of the major ones are the Atacama, the Aymara, the Muisca, the Quechua, Uru, and the Dietquita. Some of the hallmarks of Andean culture are the bright colors that they wear and their use of mythology to tell stories. Andean art is known worldwide, especially for their textiles, their ceramics, and their metalwork. In their textiles, they are well known for their use of warm alpaca fur, and their metalwork is known all over the world, especially for their goldsmiths and their silversmiths, part of which is what brought the Spaniards to Andean America. Andean America has some of the most magnificent ancient architecture in the world. Andean America is well known for Machu Picchu, but it is one of many, many cultural heritage sites dotted all throughout the Andes. Andean architecture is well known for its incredibly precise stonework. Researchers today are still trying to figure out how the Andean cultures made such precise joints in their buildings and their walls with such primitive tools. Ancient Andean cultures were heavily affected by the Spanish. In 1532, a small army led by Francisco Pizarro invaded what is now Peru. This led to the fall of many Andean cultures and had a great effect on their culture that can still be seen today, particularly in the dialect of Andean Spanish. Just like in North America, researchers estimate that the diseases brought by European conquistadors killed as many as 90% of the natives living in the Andes region. Most Andean nations have generally representative governments, usually democratic republics or republics. The outlier in this is Venezuela, which operates as a presidential republic and, in effect, is a dictatorship. While many Andean nations have representative governments much like ours in the United States, there is still a lot of room left over for graft and corruption, which plays a large part in many nations throughout South America. A major cultural issue in Andean America is the preservation of Andean culture, which is very important to the native Andeans who live there. Modern issues include the rewriting of the Chilean Constitution as of this October and the struggle of the Venezuelan people under President Maduro. In October, Chile voted overwhelmingly to rewrite its constitution to promote equality. Some researchers fear or hope that this could lead to the Arab Spring effect in Andean nations, much like what happened in North Africa and the Middle East several years ago. The worst of these issues is the prospects of Venezuela under President Maduro. President Maduro essentially runs Venezuela as a military dictatorship and retains his power by negatively affecting elections so that the outcome is always a win for himself. The center of economic development in Andean America is the Andean Three: Colombia, Chile, and Peru. These are the three leading economic powers in Andean America, and they have a combined GDP equaling 65% of that of Mexico's. They encourage free trade agreements within their partner nations, and they have all kept inflation in check. Researchers say that increasingly Chile, Colombia, and Peru are being viewed as an economic bloc serving as a new driver of regional dynamism in Latin America. The main economic organization within Andean America is the Andean Community of Nations. It's previously known as the Andean Pact, and it's comprised of Bolivia, Ecuador, Colombia, and Peru. It aims to promote the expansion of markets and guarantee an effective economic development to the region. This is to not only the benefit of the partner nations, but also the surrounding nations. Major social issues within Andean America include democratic governance, cross-border relations, security and drug policy, and energy. Democratic governance and cross-border relations increase the stability of the region, and better enforcement of security and drug policy provides for the safety of the people living within the region. Energy has always been a concern in Andean America due to the oil and natural gas resources in northern Southern America.